Hello, this is Sophia Laijo. I am an Empower Love Coach and a Light Coach Healer. And today I wanted to speak about intention and perception as well. And specifically about how um, through our intention and how we're coming into a situation, a way of being with ourselves, and how we're showing up in our life and in the world, it just changes the way what is reflected to you and what you also experience. And specifically, I wanted to share um, the moment that it just happened naturally. And this was, it would be, well, now 2 years because it was, well, no, sorry, last year, 2020. And around March, I was in the airport and I was going back home to Argentina. And I remember being in the airport, and this was a time where you would, like, I would hear about COVID, but it was something that I wasn't, very sure about. It was kind of at the background. Um, it was a time that you would start to see people, making their own kind of plastic things with plastic bottles and reuse that and to make their own mask, or just see people with, like garbage bags and so on. And I remember being at the airport. I think, I don't know what I was doing, if I was waiting for my plane, and just automatically I made the internal decision, and it wasn't something that it just like I was thinking about it. The thought actually came to me, and I just made the decision, I'm gonna be the antidote. And what that meant to me is that instead of coming from the place of I can, make somebody else sick or I can harm somebody, I was coming on the other way around with the intention of connecting with myself, with my own well being, and coming from that energy of activating myself as an antidote. And everything happened just automatically. And um, that's when I know that my soul is kind of, functioning there and just like kind of overrides my mind. And this happens from time to time to me, and it just started to program that within myself, where it's like, okay, I'm gonna be the antidote, and the antidote is available to whoever comes in contact with me, and obviously everybody has free will. So at a soul level, if they want to have access to that, they'll have access. And then there will be a rippling effect throughout. Whoever takes that energy to be the antidote within themselves, even if it's in a conscious or unconscious level, then they hold that in their own frequency and their own vibration wherever they go. And that kind of spreads through the world. And so that happened that day on, I don't know, somewhere in March of last year, when I made that conscious decision to be the antidote and have that, hold that frequency and within myself. And so with this, I bring the idea of intention, and how intention also creates an experience. So this is as simple as how you entering, for example, a conflict. If you're coming and entering into a conflict from the energy of fear because you really don't want to be there, you're afraid already of, saying something that is going to trigger the conflict, or that the conflict is going to escalate. You're already in coming with the intention of um, conflict. There's already a conflict. And so when you're entering with a solution, when you're entering that vibration of, love and solution, and being in alignment with well-being and love and compassion and so on and balance, then naturally everything kind of realigns to that order. And so this is the same way, because I've been entering a situation in my life as knowing within myself that I hold the antidote within me, and coming in from that place, then I am holding in my vibration my natural state of well-being. And I trust my body, so I have that really uh, that confident relationship with myself. And I really, at the core, I know that my natural state of being is well-being. That's why sometimes when I am surrounded by the energy of fear, because the energy of fear is there, and I kind of I start noticing that I start vibrating in that energy, then I take time for myself and I realign with that state of being within me, that I know I'm in alignment and that my natural state of being is well-being. I connect with that energy, that internal energy of being the antidote. And I come from this place, a place where it's like, okay, I'm offering healing, I'm offering this remembering collectively to whoever wants to take that in, that they trust their body, trust that larger intelligence, and that trust and vibrates at that energy that, the natural state of being is well-being. And I vibrating with kind of the solution, like instead of vibrating with the problem. And so when you're coming in with that frequency of just bringing a solution forward, you're not only empowering yourself, you're also empowering the entire environment around you. And not to say that sometimes, you're going to feel that you're going to doubt and fear. Those waves are natural, right? um, and as I said, like when you start to feel that you're falling into fear, for me what it works is that I take time with myself and I reconnect with myself and with that divine within me, with the sacred within me, and specifically in this situation with the natural state of being that is well-being within me, and the antidote within me. And, I have to say that my evidence is that I have traveled and throughout many places throughout this year and last year mainly. And, coming from that perspective and from that mindset that I am igniting the health and the well-being within me. And as I am igniting and activating and acknowledging and focusing on my own well-being and the well-being that I am, then I am bringing that well-being around me. And this serves in any single way. Like, as I was saying, like if you are going through I don't know, conflict in your work, as you activate that well-being within you, that resolution, that coming together as a team and working together and finding a solution together and finding common ground together, finding new ways of connecting with your team, finding new ways of understanding every single one of your members. And you know that you're holding that energy and you're coming in by holding that peace within you and that resolution within you. As you move into that space, you bring that into the environment and you make that available, and you begin to see as well the world, and you begin to observe from that perspective of well-being. And so naturally, everything's gonna regroup and order around that perspective of well-being. And so the key here is that you're anchoring that well-being within yourself, and you're also observing the world from the viewpoint of well-being. So everything reorganizing itself to match that frequency and that vibration and that point of view. And so this is what I wanted to share today. And so activating that within you, whatever it is, you can activate peace within you. You know, the famous quote from Gandhi is like, don't go outside yourself and, try to bring peace. Instead, come back to yourself, return home to yourself, and be peace. Be peace. So this is the same thing. Long time ago, I received the information of stop seeking for the answer outside yourself. Be the answer, and it's the same thing. Be the change you want to see in the world. Be peace. So instead of, going out and fighting for peace, you go within yourself and you are peace in self and become peace itself. And so, from your own perspective, from your own activation of peace within you, and from the perspective of peace, like there's peace everywhere in the world, wherever I'm looking, whatever situation I'm seeing, there's peace there. Even though I see conflict, I see that there's the frequency of peace is there. It's alive in there. And so as you look through the eyes of peace, then you begin to see solutions. You begin to see solutions that are the road lead to peace itself. So perhaps there, on the outside, there is chaos or there is conflict, but when you're seeing through the eyes of peace, you find peace in the outside because you are peace within you. You connected with the peace within you. You activated that frequency and that energy of feeling at peace within yourself. And you see peace all around you as well. And I'll share a story, a personal story, because this will give you like such a clear indication as well of what I'm talking about if this explanation hasn't really synced. So this would really sync it to you. So many, many years ago, I had this beautiful Buddha, like a statue of a Buddha that was made of granite or granite, I think you say it. And so I had my meditation room where every day I would do my morning practice and sit in silence. And the practice was I would just stand in front of the Buddha and I will kind of stare at the Buddha and automatically just kind of go into that state. And to me, the Buddha represented peace, represented enlightenment, represented alignment with my divine self, and so on. And I realized that really what the Buddha was doing was showing that representation, and it was acting as an access point to connect with the divine within me, with the enlightenment within me, with my own inner peace and my own groundedness. Actually, the granite was really such a powerful element for me that really rooted me and grounded me. And so I focus on those two things, that feeling grounded and connecting with my inner peace, my inner state of inner peace. And I realized that the Buddha was the symbol, the representation of the inner peace and the state of groundedness within me. And it was actually the symbol and it was the access point for me to access that within me. And so as soon as I got that awareness, I realized that, okay, if I practice to just tune into that symbol, because by now I know what the Buddha looks like and what it feels like when I look at it within myself. If I instead begin to practice that within me without the need to have the Buddha in front of me, then that's the gift. That's just like, wow, that's the jewel, that's the golden, right? And so every morning I would still sit in front of the Buddha and I would close my eyes. And at the beginning, I would bring the image of the Buddha in front of me. So I would imagine it in my mind's eye, the Buddha, and automatically I would access within myself that state of groundedness and that state of inner peace within me. So I begin to use the symbol of the Buddha as my access point to connect within myself, to feelings of groundedness and inner peace. And then I begin to practice that to the point that I started to, move away from the Buddha and just bring the image of the Buddha within me and connect with the Buddha, that granite Buddha within me, and just begin from one point that I was bringing the symbol and the image, I begin to embody the Buddha. So from the next point was to bring the image of the Buddha in my mind's eye. The next step was to actually become that granite Buddha. So I would become the whole granite Buddha in my own being. I would kind of bring the Buddha within me and just be, and from that beingness, just activate the sense of groundedness and inner peace within me, just almost instantly. So that symbol helped me from the outside, bringing it to my mind's eye, and then really embodying it and bringing it in. And now sometimes, now that I'm bringing the Buddha, it really activates in my memory and activates in my felt body, because I actually sense it and I feel it. And that's the important thing. Your body kind of gets that imprint of feeling inner peace, of feeling grounded. And that's where you want to anchor the state, through your body. And so at the end, now I don't need the Buddha. In fact, I actually gifted the Buddha to a friend, and now the Buddha lives in a beautiful garden. I'm not sure if it's still there because it was, I don't know, 10 years ago or something like that. And but see how the imprint is still in my mind. And I use that from time to time to connect with being grounded and my inner peace. But I even don't actually need it anymore, because my body remembers the feeling of being grounded and the sense of inner peace, where I just kind of imbibe that sensation within me now. And so, but it was a practice, and to me, it was such life changing to realize that what I was focusing outside myself was actually reflecting what I wanted to invite within me, and that it was always within me, but just the outside was kind of mirroring back, right? So the world is a mirror, and we're so used to, we have accustomed ourselves and conditioned ourselves to do everything from the outside in. And that really helped me to realize this mirror perspective, that it was actually the inner peace within me was always there. The Buddha outside myself was remembering of that inner state. And so I started to connect to my inner peace and my sense of groundedness within me. I didn't need the Buddha outside myself anymore, because I have accessed it within me or myself. And in truth, everything that we are feeling and that it's alive within our inner world, our inner landscape, is translated into our outer landscape. The thing is that we are recognizing and we're beginning to understand that it's not the outer landscape, but it's not like when you have the outside Buddha, is you have the inner Buddha. No, in truth, it was always there. It was always that my inner Buddha was always there, and because it was always there, it was outside myself, and I could see it because there was an aspect of me, of that granite Buddha, that it always existed. I was able to, not only the experience gave me this access point to realize that understanding, because then I can share with all of you as well. This is part of one of my missions, to explain all this understandings and personal experiences of my life and use it as a way to share it with the world. So I hope that serves you and helps you as well. And have a beautiful day or evening whenever you're watching this video. Bye bye.